I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The class and grace of the office of the president, the highest office in the land, an example of our best and brightest. And when you are running for president, you gotta hold yourself to the highest standards. And by that I mean, so god-awful gold high-top sneakers at a convention. The Secret Service was quoted as saying, "The fuck are we doing?" That's an ex-president. That's right. When you're currently running for president, you also need to whore hoop shoes. Like some dude on the corner in a bad neighborhood from the back of a van. You know, the man that says he's a billionaire went to SneakerCon. Heavy on the con, by the way. To sell his quite subtle and understated footwear. Where he was soundly booed.
Wow. A lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this room.
Because when we all think of athletic footwear, we think of this guy. Why? Why would a man with a golden toilet do this? Frankly, because he's in deep shit. Last week, Donald Trump was ordered to pay $355 million plus interest. Mwah! And that totals over $100 million. It's so sweet. So currently, Trump is on the hook for $455 million. Why? Because after a month of testimony and years of finding evidence of his financial crimes, it turns out that Donald Trump lies. After going bankrupt 6 times and failing at airline, sports team, Trump University, steaks, vodka, and Trump water. I've said it before, but the man can't sell food, water, or alcohol. If Trump sold oxygen, his customers would suffocate. And a lot of them did. So we have this douchebag who currently owes $455 million to the state of New York. Then he owes $83 million to a woman he sexually assaulted.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Because it turns out they don't let you do anything. And now he's trying to sell gold high tops to who? Who's going to wear this gaudy ass horror show? Oh, right, my aunt. On top of everything, he has the balls to ask about Nikki Haley's husband.
What happened to her husband? Where is he?
Yet Melania seems to have obviously joined the witness protection program because she's been gone longer than the body on a Dateline special. And yet this dude is the front runner for the Republican Party, this lying, criminal, treasonous horror show. Republicans, remember when a Republican president had to have a modicum of class? Remember when he had to have the decency and a wife that could actually stand him? Remember when they had to hide his dementia instead of it being the main campaign selling point? What has happened to you, my Republican friends?
I love the poorly educated. We're the smartest people. We're the most loyal people.
We're the smartest people. We're the most loyal people.
When I hear you say it's time for a dictatorship, it's time to get stuff done, do you really believe that? And is this the guy, this obese, moronic, shank-infected liar? This really your dude? And you want him to be a dictator? I mean, he said he was going to be dictator on day one. He is following the Hitler playbook word for word. Except for one thing. Even Hitler wasn't scumbag enough to whore shoes Elton John would think were obnoxious. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. God! The ex-president went to SneakerCon to whore high tops. Come on, man! At what point does this guy just keep lowering the bar, you know? Remember when Obama went to TanSudaCon to whore TanSuda? What the fuck is happening? Everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Today is an annoying day. We have an atmospheric river going over Los Angeles, something I've never heard of in my life until climate change finally became too big for people to not avoid or deny anymore. So we are here. I'm a little bit wet. Rachel's a little bit soaked. And Highlander's been here before.
Dry as a bone.
Yeah,
what's up, people?
So today's been a weird. I'm stressful. I'm stressful. I will hold on.
Okay.
With me as always, the lovely bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There can be only one.
I'm irritated today. We're supposed to be heading up to the snow. We were supposed to be up. We were up early enough. I got my workout in. We're ready to go. And then I had a flat tire. My car had a flat tire.
Dog in your homework.
Then her car, the battery was dead in her car. I had to get that hooked up, fix that. And I was just like, it's just one of those days.
Isn't the car plugged in at home?
It's not
No.
the Tesla. It's the GTO. I didn't need it, but he could not leave it like that, knowing. So
She doesn't drive it.
it's not. I was going to drive it, but it's pouring. I can't drive it in this
it's
rain.
been sitting at the house for 3 months and you haven't driven it.
The old cars are like relationships. Like you need to touch them every once a week.
It's true.
Okay.
You do, or else they end. You start to hate them. You start to forget they're
Yeah,
there. You
they're
need to give them love and affection every week.
their battery dies.
At least every week.
The pipes dry up.
The pipes never dry up. I don't think that the pipes will
Hey,
ever dry.
whoa, tone it. Hey, everybody.
I asked Grandma jokingly December, right before she passed away, I said something to her and I go, when does it end? She goes, honey, it don't ever end. And I was like, why do I see nonstop ED commercials then?
Why is it so horrible for you?
It's no God. I'm just saying,
when is this nightmare going to end with the affection and the love?
The exhaustion.
When will these orgasms
I
stop?
need to put it on the calendar.
But is it a thing? Is ED a thing? I mean, the amount of ED commercials that you see, it's constant.
I think it's more like a heart. It's like a heart thing.
We are, someone said the obesity since COVID has gone up from 24% to 74%.
Oh.
I think what has happened is it's a health thing.
Really?
Yeah.
ED's really healthy.
Obesity,
Your dick doesn't just stop working. What happens is you let yourself get unhealthy enough, and
it's the first sign.
And your
of
heart's like, we got no extra here, guys.
Yeah.
We got to keep this going. This fucker's gonna die.
This GTO has not been touched in years. Nothing's.
I'm just saying. I think when you stay out of shape, when you let yourself get out of shape, I think I don't think.
Is that what it is? It's out of shape.
Yeah, because there's guys that, like you see those guys didn't Al Pacino or no De Niro just got a chick pregnant. He's 82.
He just had a baby.
He just had a baby, so it's not. It's you got to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy. Okay, that's it. It's a health thing. Okay. So instead of like going, why don't you go to the gym and work out because then you'll feel better too. Yep. Take this pill.
I wish you guys had talked about this before our ad today. Speaking of staying healthy, but carry on. Just bookmark this.
Okay,
got
it.
Talk again.
We will get back to.
We've
ED
never
problems.
used erections to promote this product, so.
Today's a new day. I can't fathom. You always think.
Speaking of ED.
Yeah, exactly. We've gotten so used to this guy being a moron. We've gotten so used to this being. And by the way, I can't even withhold. I don't have any ease or diplomacy anymore. He's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
So this guy, so Trump gets nailed with $355 million in tax fraud and financial crimes. We didn't know this, but they had already put it on like, oh, you can drag this out as long as you want. But as of these charges, the date these charges are filed, you have interest going whatever so whatever the judgment's going to be, there's 5% interest on it.
Yeah.
Well, then the settlement's $355.
No, 9%.
9%.
Yeah.
So then it's $355, and they're like, okay, so let's go from the time you got filed to the time you kept dragging it out.
That's the thing people don't realize about court. We found out quickly is even if, say, you don't have the hearing until 10 years after, whatever occurred, having a kid or separating or criming. I didn't mean to point at you, but then the interest starts from
accruing
that
from that.
date. Yes. So he owes how much?
So they calculated it. The judgment came down. They calculated he owed it. So it's $355 plus $100 million.
So that's like how many of those high top shoes versions? Like Air Jordans
He's
have
also
like
got
10
Trump
versions.
perfume. So that came out at the same time.
No, that's you see. I think each one of these
like
is fake.
diapers, hot dogs, and old ketchup, according to
ass.
Yeah. So okay.
$99 to smell like Donald Trump.
You could just go to a carnival and
hairspray.
The sneakers
and a hug of
Carney. High tops are $400. They're called the gold, ones. You can get them in red or white or metallic gold. Those are $400, and they're called Never Surrender.
Oh, they come in different colors. Is that what it is?
I thought.
The ones you're seeing constantly are they're actually gold,
and
these dumb rednecks are walking out with metallic gold.
Like
high
I said
tops.
in the thing, Elton John would not wear these. Elton John would be like, no.
Kid Rock would.
I'd dump a Kid Rock.
I'm sure he designed them. Him or Vanilla Ice.
There was something really funny.
He's got a perfume called Donald Trump. That's one. He's got one called Success. And the other one is Trump Empire. On perfume.com, Trump Empire You can get for as low as $8.37. Someone's trying to sell theirs off. So if you guys really want it, there's a bargain available.
Trump Empire, is it a perfume?
Yeah, there's 3. Oh, he released Victory 47.
If you don't know what failure smells like.
What? I want to know what. Oh, Victory 47 is a new one. Those 3 ones he already had. If you didn't know that, the Victory 47 has a gold bust of his head on top. Let me see that. So
that looks like his actual body.
So good. You've just gone. You've go over. You just. Oh, and how about the EFTs? NFTs. Whatever the fuck.
EFT. What is that, like a Western Union?
I don't even know, man. The NFTs where he had they put his head on a fighter pilot body, a guy who was a bone spurs 5 times, deferred 5 times. Then you've got his head's on. He does Rocky. Rocky is a boxer. He's got abs, which is his fucking. He's never seen an ab.
He's slimmed out in all of them. They're all like just AI generated.
Did you see what he truthed on the day that we found out Navalny was murdered in the
No, but
prison?
I heard there's some hoopla about it.
He truthed a picture of himself, the one where he's swinging the golf club and he's in the white golf shirt and his gut is massive. And he said that his opponents use AI to make him look fat. And here are 3 pictures of me today actually swinging at a golf ball, and it's clearly been doctored to make
clearly AI
thinner. But that's what he had to say.
But you understand that is dictator shit. That's like Putin. Doctoring all the photos he puts out of him riding the horse with his shirt and Kim Jong-un. So Trump's actually, so here's all this aside. Do you understand what a lowlife this guy had? Yes. He's whoring tennis shoes, perfume. Like, he's a scumbag. Like, dude, you are the lowest level huckster.
He wears his own merch at his rallies. He wears his own
with a suit. It looks like a douchebag.
Yeah.
How does he keep fucking bashing the wall? Like, we always think that, like, okay, this guy is the absolute worst.
This is the worst thing he can do.
Shit. And then the next day, he sells gold high tops with the fucking big dumb T on it.
But also, here's the not stylized at all. Here's the thing. So you got this guy who wants to be president of the United States, arguably the most powerful country on the planet, and he goes to SneakerCon. And that's why I said never get up there. Like, the Secret Service are going, we're going to do what?
Look, it's an upgrade from the dildo shop. Okay, so at least.
But that was Giuliani's fault.
Bless his heart. He can't pay his settlement, his
Trump dildos.
Not settlement, judgment
By the way,
against
they're
him.
very different.
It's got his head on it. It smells like him, too.
That would be the
for the wrong reasons.
That's the Trump butt plug. That's the different.
They are tested in our factories. Hello.
You know how we get those Trump emails and Titus Podcast
right? Because
email?
I always wanted to see what they were sending us.
We've already gotten 8 this morning. You were talking about him being a huckster, and it's all you have to do is just click here to get a piece of his suit. He's selling that off.
The suit that he took a mugshot.
The mugshot suit. You can get a tiny shred of it for almost $5,000. And you just click right here if you want to stop the invasion. If you want to stop the invasion, click right here, and it takes you immediately to a donation.
But we had a bill for that.
No.
We had a bill for that. But he's going to solve it through his
website,
his
merch site,
his merch made from China.
What is up with his in Pennsylvania?
What the fuck?
Your favorite. We're going to go on down.
Going to the Capitol.
Oh, you're right. It's like a carnival barker.
He doesn't. Okay, so it's
the cheap seats.
It's dumb people. There's a commercial that Ray and I hate. There's a commercial that there's this. She was like a remodel girl. She was like this kind of cute girl who remodels houses. She had her show.
The bath.
So let me finish. So she got a show, right? And she did it on like
HG,
whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
And then she got a deal to whore these bathrooms for
it's bath
jacuzzi.
In a day. A jacuzzi where they come in one day and give you a new bathtub.
But she says she's so vapid. So here's and here's how she talks.
Yes.
Everything she says goes up at the end because if you want to go to get a jacuzzi bath, you can actually call today. And
Call
everything's a question.
today. She doesn't know how to. She's not intelligent, so she wants to sound interesting, but she doesn't know how to.
Right.
But that's the inauthenticity and stupidity of Donald Trump, is he doesn't know how to hit to where. What's the important word?
Yes.
I don't know what capital.
He doesn't know where the emphasis is.
But we're back to this again, and I think people think we've been trying to figure out. I have a couple of theories now why people continue to want this guy as president. He is as dumb as they are, and he's got billions of dollars, supposedly millions at least, not anymore though, because he's got to pay off. But I think they think, well, if this dumb motherfucker can make it, I can make it.
Yeah.
Also, he's really good, and throughout history, he's really good at going, it's the trans people that are ruining your life. It's these books that the woke people want in the library. It's the immigrants coming across the border, which is something. It used to be blacks. It used to be the Asians are coming. The Irish are the whitest people in them. They're like, the Irish are fucking it up. So it's easy to... Anger, I always said, anger and hatred always feels like power. It's not, but it always does. And so he's really good at that. So basically these dumb people who are uneducated, who can't seem to make their lives work, now have a hero in a dumb guy who his dad gave him $400 million. And he, because of his properties, he continues to keep borrowing.
Yes.
It's not that he's making money.
Right.
But although they said during his presidency, he made $2.1 billion is his, because of his brand.
No. He donated his time and got paid nothing to help save the country.
I see.
That's
he
right.
didn't take his salary.
Oh, okay.
He sold. They hoard everything. He
had
sell
Secret Service staying in all of his properties and triple charged them.
Triple charged them.
Yeah.
And his son-in-law and his daughter, they were also donating their time to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So they didn't make any money.
Well, they
either.
made $640 million on her own. She got multiple patents from China. I don't know why. And then you got Jared Kushner, who got $2 billion from the Saudi government, and yet Hunter. That's going on. Do we? Can you look that up, guys? So this Hunter Biden thing's been going on forever, right? Well, and Comer and Lindsey Graham and everybody's been talking about this. An FBI informant that is inside information on the criminal that is Joe Biden. Well, it turns out that guy has been arrested for falsifying evidence.
So
he's in court today, I think.
Is that why we're not hearing about Hunter Biden anymore?
That's why it stopped. On top of that, Hunter Biden showed up.
For every time.
He was like, I'm not going to subpoena. I'm not going to do something. You want to film me? You want to ask me questions? We do it on television.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we can't, but beep, boop, beep, boop. So that's how I hear Republicans talk. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop.
With gold shoes.
You got Comer. He's Frank. He's right. All right, here's what's going to happen. Jada.
Can't move your upper lip, though. Yeah. That's what he does. I don't even understand. Yeah. Can't stand it.
So we are now in a place. So, guys, why? It's not even like the guy has an upside. Like, listen, there's some presidents that have had some weird shit. They were like, there was like some weird, Kennedy with Marilyn Monroe. There's weird, didn't Truman or something have to have like his pants pulled out because he had a monster hog? Supposedly he had like this monster, and there was a thing about it.
There was another president.
So he had to have what?
His pants had to be like
custom?
wider. Well, he didn't want to be embarrassing, so he had to actually have them loosened up a little bit.
Oh, come on!
And I swear, look it up. And
I didn't have to do that.
Up?
Yeah,
Truman Hughes
had a monster hog. Type it into Google search,
quick. Put it in, Ray.
U.S. presidents ranked by wiener size.
Thank you, Lord. The internet again doesn't let us down ever.
JFK first, Barack Obama second. I think they probably switched those. They put Bush at 4. I don't
George.
believe that.
Wait, HW or W?
The next website I come to.
HW maybe. He was CIA.
That was H was
Top
for hog.
10 dead presidents ranked
Hog
by
ball
penis size. Top 10 dead presidents ranked by penis size is another story you can click on.
What? You know what? Remember the internet was going to we're all going to be geniuses. We're all going to have all the information ever created by the greatest minds in history.
Peace on earth, unity.
Whose president had the biggest wiener?
Power ranking every U.S. president by their dick size is the next one. The next one is called The Presidential Penis, A Short History.
Boom.
Oh, come on.
No, it just keeps going.
Like I hate doing any kind of dick jokes, but
Lyndon Johnson called his penis jumbo.
George Washington's was wooden.
Lyndon Johnson called his. That's who I was talking about. Not Truman. I was thinking of Johnson. Lyndon Johnson.
Occasionally
his name was
would
Johnson,
not zip
for God's
up his
sake.
pants and then ask a colleague if they had ever seen anything as big as his penis.
Lincoln had a big hat on his with a beard underneath.
That's what condoms look like in Lincoln's time.
Yeah.
Just a stove.
Hats.
They had stovepipe condoms. Sorry, I'll get it. Edit the shitty part out and then leave the joke in.
There's a hilarious recording of him ordering pants over the phone and instructing the woman on the other end to add some room in the crotch for his giant dong.
There you go. That's what I was talking about. This phone call happened, and there's a transcript of it. I remember thinking, this dude was swinging something where it sounds like he had like a disease or like elephantitis or something, man.
Yeah, but that's every college guy does that phone call, right? It seems like,
hey, can you let my pants out? Why? Because you won't believe what I'm swinging down here.
Supposedly, once a reporter asked him why the U.S. was in Vietnam, and Johnson took out Jumbo and said, "This is why."
Banged it on the table like a gavel and said, "Meeting adjourned."
I got your missile right here.
Okay, we're horrible. By the way, to everyone who will listen to this for some sort of political insight,
a whole thing.
We're really sorry.
What Quora has a whole forum on was LBJ obsessed with his penis.
He was. I mean, men are, but we just talked in the mirror. We don't. I mean,
no, you talk to the woman that you're with too.
Listen, I'm not obsessed with my penis. My penis is obsessed with me.
Oh, okay.
It's actually obsessed with you.
That's in conjunction
he was
junction.
Proud of. He enjoyed making AIDS.
That's a school. That's a schoolhouse rock.
How do you know about this
that is
stuff?
A school. I just mean, you know how I hear these weird things.
He apparently would make aides come into the bathroom to talk to him when he was peeing or taking a bath. So
what?
He would call secretaries in while he was in the tub, hold up his penis and say hello to Jumbo. Boy, times have changed. But tell me again how women have enjoyed equality for a long time.
I just want to know how many people laughed in his face.
There's nothing to brag about, right? It's like
say hello to Jumbo. Have you ironically named it? Why are you sarcastic about your own penis?
To be fair, he asked all the women to leave the room before he pulled out his penis in that press conference to say this is why the U.S. is in Vietnam. Because he was a classy guy. He often conducted meetings urinating in a sink or pooping. He also spent tens of thousands of U.S. taxpayer money to get special shower heads installed with the pressure of a fire hose, he said specifically for his penis.
How dirty was this bacon? So it's called Jumbo after an element. Did it also smell like shit? Why would you need a fire hose on your penis?
Who knew this? Lyndon Johnson was obsessed with his penis. This is really interesting.
I'm just a hog, LBJ's hog, and I'm pissing on your leg like a dog. Ladies, leave this room, I ain't pretty, cause I'm a long, long Willie. He calls me Jumbo too, I need a custom zipper. You can drive me on Vietnam, because I'm big as a bomb. I am LBJ's hog, I am tall.
I think any narcissist that thinks he can be president is obsessed with his penis.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying. It's classic narcissism. But okay, thanks for sharing that with me. I could have gone my whole life without knowing
You
that.
deep dived it. I didn't know.
We didn't tell you to look it up.
I didn't tell
We
you
didn't
to
tell you at
look
all
it.
to
I
look
said
it
there was a
up.
thing. I remember a thing. And
You did it on your own.
And you were like, and then you pretty much pulled out the Magna
You have
Carta
that bookmarked.
of presidential
I know you have that
penises.
book-
You
bookmarked.
hog whistled me. I had to go see. That's different than dog whistle. It's
You
you
hog
know.
whistled me. That's awesome. So again, it's not even that the guy's inept. It's not even that the guy's evil. It's not that the guy's doesn't give a shit about anybody else. he's cheap. He's cheap as fuck, man. Like, how do you like when I saw the gold tennis shoes, I had this weird moment where I'm like, oh, those are ugly. Then I thought, wait, that's an ex-president of the United States, currently the front runner, and he's at SneakerCon.
And this is how he's supposed to fundraise. He's not going on policies and what he's going to do for the country, and like just basically like
it's right. He's not going. Here's what the healthcare thing's going to look like.
He's selling spray painted fucking high tops.
But what a scumbag are you that you actually are? You're the president. You were a president of the United States. Like, listen, how you lost the popular vote by 3 million. You shouldn't have been president. Because of some fucking weird sidebar thing on the electoral college. You got to be president. You shouldn't have been. But you were. Now you're running again, and you're this much of a lowlife.
Yes.
That you're at SneakerCon,
and they have kitten heels built in.
That's not what.
That's so lame.
I am daily shocked. And not shocked anymore, but disgusted. Actually shocked at the people that continue to back him up.
Yeah.
You've now got Navalny, who like just broke my heart. Really thought that he was going to make it. Thought somebody was going to do something. And now it just seems like Vladimir Putin's becoming more and more emboldened. He kills Navalny right before the Munich Security Conference, right after, we should talk about the Tucker Carlson interview.
We will.
Right after he was platformed by an American journalist. And he doesn't say one word about Navalny. He's the front runner for the Republican Party. You know,
No, he did say. He said he
waited 3 days,
and then he compared himself to Navalny. That I am also being oppressed and held.
While
he's being interviewed on TV.
That from his 757. He's the same as Navalny, who was in Siberia in a gulag.
Being poisoned daily,
slowly poisoned to death. Yes. But and normally that people would just be so disgusted, they would just want that person to go away, and they're like, nope, that's the guy. By the way, for all those dumb fat Republicans that said that they wanted a dictator, that's what we need, a good dictator. That's what happens when you have a dictator in power.
Well, and speaking of this, and then we have...
Let's talk about Tucker Carlson.
Well, I'm sure Tucker Carlson got paid. Why? I don't understand why there's no reason for Tucker Carlson to go to Russia. Russia paid Tucker Carlson. Let's be very clear. There was some money transferred, and we need to look into that. Tucker Carlson is such a piece of shit. Like, Tucker Carlson... When you look at the things he said, and the funny thing is that he lies constantly. Remember when he said he had the laptop? He had Hunter's laptop, and he had all the documents. But I gave him to UPS, and they lost him.
What did John Oliver call him? The worst Brooks brother.
Yeah,
he's called him a human boat shoe before he has like the greatest.
Last night was he did this. He named him. It was the funniest name. You guys. Jon Stewart's back on Monday nights. Go watch it. It's as good as you think.
Tucker
It's going to be.
Carlson goes and interviews Putin, and then everybody sees. Like, we saw clips of it, and he's
ass kissing
his ass. At one point, Putin says to him that Poland started the war. It was Poland's fault because, quote, Hitler asked them to please turn over the country, and they did not comply. So Tucker Carlson says.
All Hitler
Tucker Carlson, in between, just let me finish this, says,
well, you've interrupted me 4 times.
No, I have not. I'm now trying to get this out the whole time. He says, of course, and then keeps nodding, so he'll continue on saying that Poland started the war.
But Jon Stewart stopped him because you can see Tucker's face says, the fuck are you talking about? But he says, of course. So to be clear, so Putin had the balls in an interview to say that Poland should have turned everything over to Hitler. And that's why the war started, because Poland refused to give up their country.
He asked nicely.
No, he was always yelling. Poland! Oh, hey.
He just pulled up some trucks right to the border and said, hand it over.
Now he's talking about Poland like he's got troops on the border of Poland. And we've got something weird happened this week that I rarely see, and Rachel Maddow brought it up too. So we remember last week we got this weird announcement from a Republican senator that says we need that there's some shit going on with Russia. We need to know they have a new weapon. We need to have a briefing. The American people need to be briefed immediately.
Yes.
So all hell breaks loose. The news loses their mind because, again, the news doesn't need anything except nothing to stir up a bunch of shit. Find out that Russia has a nuclear satellite that if they blow up in space will cause an EMP, will end everything. It will end all the electronics in our cars.
Power grid, water,
gone,
internet,
gone,
even
nothing.
Starlink.
Starlink will go out. It's done. Everything's done.
We'll have no navigation. We'll have nothing. I'll never be able to find my way home.
I do find this funny because, again, this is a country that couldn't have a truck that made it to Ukraine. But okay. So, here's the weird thing that happened. So whatever this threat was, and you know how the Republicans have been so anti-Biden and fuck Biden, we're not doing it. We need a border bill. Gives them a border bill. Gives them the most conservative border bill since Reagan.
Yeah.
And they go, no, we're not doing it. What the because Trump said they don't want to have victory. Yesterday in the video, they came out to Mike Tiny Johnson and this other Republican,
the ranking member,
came out and said, we want to thank President Biden for doing such a good job on this. What he's doing is exactly right on this situation.
There's steady hands on the wheel.
And
the administration is...
Shouldn't you be scared? Like I turned around and go, how bad was this?
How scared are they?
How scared are these guys that they're like, oh no.
I just want to finish that Tucker Carlson thing though, because this all happened the week or two after he aired this interview. So Tucker Carlson has been very vocal against Zelensky, calls him a dictator, criticizes U.S. media for what he calls corruption and state propaganda because they publish interviews with Zelensky, but never with Putin. And Christine Amanpour said that's actually bullshit. They've tried to get an interview with Putin and he's said no, but also he's a dictator who's murdering people in other countries. He just this week murdered in Spain a Russian pilot who defected to Ukraine to fight with them. Found him in Spain.
We can't call him murder. He just opens windows near people he doesn't like.
He got shot in a parking garage.
And they fall. And the people fall. People stumble.
They said that they weren't going to give their life for Russia. So he thought, well, they should give their life for Russia. So it's their fault
for not saying it. So now
they're like
just... he made them patriots.
The week after he publishes this interview where he kisses his ass, agrees with everything. He then, the week after, Navalny gets murdered. The Russian pilot gets murdered.
Let's be clear.
And this Russian satellite thing comes out.
Let's be clear. Navalny wasn't murdered. He had sudden death syndrome. That's what the Russians called it. They said, no, he died of sudden death syndrome.
Doesn't everybody that gets murdered have sudden death syndrome?
Yes. Yeah, true. True.
Yeah.
About this satellite thing.
They actually came out and said it was sudden death syndrome. It's like SIDS for adults.
That's what I thought. What? Putin tells Tucker in that interview that Zelensky has the power to bring peace, but chooses not to.
Yeah, like Poland could have.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have you can just give us Ukraine and it ends.
You guys can just die, and then there's peace.
Tucker calls Zelensky rat-like, which is anti-Semitic.
But also ironic because Tucker Carlson is really rat-like.
Yeah. So now, tell what came out in Russian state media yesterday or the day before.
Okay, so Tucker Carlson goes and basically to the point, you got to watch. People go watch The Daily Show. Jon Stewart's back on Monday is brilliant. They show video of Tucker going into a Russian supermarket. Now, it's beautiful. He's like, look at these carts. He's like, look at these rolling carts. They have, like, we all have rolling carts. He goes, and look at this walkway. The wheels lock on it, so it can't go down. Like Russia's way ahead of us, except we've had that, she said, since 2006, we had that at Target. At least
when I moved here, we had it at Target and Whole Foods.
Yeah, since the 80s, right.
Yeah.
So he goes, oh my God, they have bread. It's so fresh. Look at this bread. I'm like...
And it comes back to Jon Stewart. This was my favorite moment. And he's so just staring at the camera, and Tucker's like smelling the bread, and he just goes, man really likes bread. Thank God they didn't give him a bagel. Which I laughed. And then this morning I said it again, and he goes, oh, I didn't get that last night.
He was like, oh, he did fuck a bagel. Tucker was going to fuck a bagel.
That was a clean dick joke.
It was the cleanest dick joke I think I've heard.
So he's like licking the taint of Russia and Putin.
So then they do so he leaves Russia, whatever, and they interview Putin. A guy from state media interviews Putin, and they go, "What did you think of with Tucker?" And he goes, It wasn't very interesting at all. He goes, I thought he was going to ask hard questions. I had hard answers ready. He didn't answer hard questions. What did he say? I was annoyed by it.
Bored.
I was bored with it. So then,
he totally
fucking sold out Tucker too. Just threw him under the bus again. I'm like,
yeah, but doesn't it seem
Tucker's
like
a bitch? Tucker is a bitch.
Putin's a
Sandwich.
Wouldn't he play it that way to support the idea that Tucker wasn't paid?
I
this
think
wasn't
he's
a propaganda
just a
thing.
dick. I think he's just an evil dick. And I think Tucker, to someone like Putin, who is, toxic masculinity personified, which I like. Again, I'm a fan of toxic masculinity. I was raised by a Marine. Can't help it. But he is like cubed. And then human boat shoe comes over in his little boat shoes and his little turtleneck. I mean, it's like, come on. He made him a bitch.
He's not like Putin and Tucker would never hang out.
No.
Like, no, Putin would hang out with a dude. And Tucker's not a dude.
He looked at him like, oh no.
Putin would have stuffed him in the fucking locker.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a wood chipper that was warmed up.
Now Tucker is supposedly under fire since Navalny was murdered, and he came out and said, well, no decent person would defend what happened to Navalny. It's horrifying what happened. But he didn't say he was defending or not defending. He just said no decent person would defend. But what happened?
But by the way, I defend it because I'm not decent.
Right.
As you've seen from everything I've done in the last 25 years. Yeah. My dentist, I got my new tooth.
Is it fixed for real?
Yeah. It's the second time I fixed. And it's much thicker
now. The Russian
Titanium?
dentist from Zero Side Effects.
I am not going Kanye. I'm not going Kanye.
Just one.
So I was talking to him, and I was getting the teeth, and I hate going to the dentist so much. I like my dentist, so he's a good dude, but he's Russian. And I said, I go, so what's the deal with Putin? I go, is he just fucking with people? And he said, no. I go, okay. He said to me, Navalny, he goes, I don't understand why he would kill Navalny. Now, why create a martyr? And I go, yeah, is he just not smart? And he goes, no, he just doesn't care. Mm-hmm. So Putin is so arrogant and so out of control. I think he beat cancer. Maybe he kind of had cancer a couple years ago, whatever.
He was not looking well.
And now he's fine again. Now he looks great again.
Of course, that was during COVID, and I would not be surprised if, like Dumbo,
possible.
He had COVID and a really bad bout, but was pretending he didn't
just
have
lying.
it.
Yeah, that's possible. But he said Putin just doesn't care. And what these dictators don't understand is, look, you can build a statue to yourself, but good people have statues built for them. You could still be wealthier than anybody in the world, which they think he is. They think he's worth like $300 or $400 billion because he's just been snaking money from the Russian people. Mm-hmm. But you could also have done the right thing. And you can be better that way because no one sees Putin as a good guy. And I asked him about the Russians. I go, my dentist, and I say, he goes, they're zombies. He goes, they're zombies.
What was their average pay?
Oh, Tucker Carlson goes, look at all these groceries I got for like 100.
He was saying why America sucks and why Russia's great. I only spent $108 on these groceries.
And then Jon Stewart pointed out, because the average weekly salary per week, Russians make top of line like $120.
So of course the prices are lower.
Yeah, their economy's different than other countries.
But
have
can
different.
You believe that someone would
worth.
go over as an apologist and then glorify them and compare them to us like we're the shithole? It blows my mind.
100% get it.
And we are not angry and shunning this guy for what the fuck is wrong with you?
No. They're all. That's the new thing. Is Putin loving. Backing up Putin, Russia's great. And it's I told you guys, my stepmom, last time I was there, Gab. She's on Gab, and she told me Putin was a better man than most of the politicians we have here. And I said, he has his opponents murdered. Mm-hmm. If he's been in office, 30, 40, however long, 30 years?
I think this next thing will be his 25th year.
I said he assassinates people. Yeah. He poisons them. And she just looked at me so blankly because that wasn't on Gab. But so there's this new, I'm assuming it's Russian propaganda that he's pumping out.
And all you do, there's entire banks of people. There's buildings where people just do that in Russia. Yeah. I mean, it's disinformation. And what's got to happen now, killing Navalny, these guys always get so arrogant and they make a mistake. I don't know if this is the mistake, but it seems like this is like the beginning when people start to go, wait, Navalny died. Navalny didn't do anything except want to make Russia free. He's
already in jail.
He was already in jail. Why kill him?
Right.
Well, because from jail, he was still getting messages out.
He did it to send a message before the Munich security conference. He's not done. Intelligence is showing that last night we saw that there's discussion from intelligence that he's going to take his first NATO country and it'll be one of the little ones. Like Latvia or Estonia, some of the little ones right on the other side of Ukraine. And he's not stopping. He's also selling red high-top sneakers.
Well, they're not red.
They have the little orange.
They're metal flake red. They're metal flake. It looks like the same how you paint a Rollo Rider. He's going that way.
They have little tank treads on them.
Yeah, they do. They have little tank treads, which they fall off. Yeah, they do break. They have holes in them.
So Navalny's widow she showed up at the Munich security conference and spoke, and she looks
stricken.
Yeah. And she then put out a video saying that she was going to continue her husband's fight. So she's marked herself for death.
So she's going
to... Elon Musk and X, after she put that video out, blocked her from X.
And then people went batshit, and then they put her back.
Freedom of speech.
Explain... But no. You can be on there and hate Jews and hate black people,
right? And
be very vocal about that, and he'll say freedom of speech.
Meet me for the Nazi rally.
Yeah. You can try and take over our country, and be on there. But they blocked her for saying she was going to continue his fight. So there's problems. And I told him last night. I said, this country, we've been sleeping on Putin.
Yeah.
He's been doing. Yeah. It's like you said, these just full warehouses filled with people pumping out Russian propaganda, which we really saw in the 2016 and 2020 elections.
He was impeached for it. There was literally Jared Kushner had a back channel server that they had to shut down at Trump Tower that was connected directly to the Russian government.
So you see how busy this country is, though. We're very busy. Donald Trump has really distracted everything. Yeah. And so there's a lot of busy work.
Yeah, I just wasted a whole Armageddon update about tennis shoes. He's really distracted the shit out of it.
This podcast has been really distracted.
We're distracted
for
like a mother.
7 years we've been distracted.
That's what Donald Trump is.
He got a shiny orange object. Groucho gets distracted when he's on TV. I have pictures of Groucho in the chair watching Trump on TV. Even he is like, he's orange.
Yeah.
Dude, but here's the weirdest thing about Trump, and unless what you just said is dead on, because the day before he lost hardcore in court. He lost like $500 million, like $500 million, and he can't do business in New York for 3 years. Actually, his kids too each got $4 million, and then his it got charged $4 million, and Weisselberg got $1 million. Weisselberg. They found out that Weisselberg has perjured himself. Yep. He may go back to prison.
Yep. But we're very busy with that. That's all we have on the news is Trump cases, Trump indictment. Now Fani Willis. Now her father has had to testify. The woman. It's like we're very busy. Meanwhile, bro he's built a nuclear satellite. He's going to deploy up there and just take out the whole world.
An airburst, you have to have it within the atmosphere. You can set a nuke up at like a mile above the earth and just boom, but it has to be in the atmosphere.
There's a reason why that lawmaker was so freaked out.
I thought you were going with it for an ad
to come out. Enough to come out. Well, I've tried a bunch of times, but then it got steered away. But that guy came out, usually something that's confidential, and warned everybody like this is really bad, so it's got to be really bad. It was bad enough that Johnson and that other guy defended Biden.
Again, that was honestly a chilling moment for me when Johnson, who's been talking shit about Biden, he needs to be impeached, and this other dude, this head of one of the security things, comes out and they go, Biden's really got his hand on the wheel. It's steady. We're going to be okay. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Wait.
So something positive?
Something's real serious for these guys to go, we got to come together. It's what they always said about aliens. If aliens were going to attack us, the one thing that would stop the division, we'd be like, oh, these motherfuckers. We'd all get together and be like, we're taking these guys out.
But not Russia. Yeah. We fight each other in the meantime.
We just have to stay healthy. If we can just stay healthy, we can
fight the aliens. I was just going to say, speaking of having erections for the rest of your life.
I rolled it. I tried my best.
This episode brought to you by AG1, because getting ownership of your health should be easy. It shouldn't be complicated. You shouldn't have to sit on the internet all night after night, like I used to, reading about what supplements, then ordering 1,000 different supplements and then peeing them all out. AG1 is one scoop of the green powder in a shaker bottle or a glass, mixed with a little bit of water, a drop of D3K2, and you are done for the day.
So this morning I got up, I did my workout, then I had my creatine, and then I had my AG1. And
I saw that.
the funny thing for me, AG1 is like every time it's a green powder. So every time I put a glass, I have this reaction for all the years of drinking green powder that tasted like lawn clippings. And so I always go, ugh, and I fill it with water, and then I just down it in one thing because it tastes so good. On top of that, about half an hour after that, I went and took my shower, got ready to come to the podcast because we're in the cabin. And I noticed a sense of well-being that I was calm, and my stomach didn't have any kind of, I had a couple cups of coffee, usually has a little acidy taste, gone. I got to tell you guys, AG1 is one of those supplements that there's like 70 something things in it, adaptogens, which I'm still trying to figure out what it is.
Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, whole food source superfoods. I like that they source their ingredients for better absorption, for potency and nutrient density, and they test everything. It's kind of like having nutritional insurance. You can just, but you don't have to think about it. You can get rid of all the pills that you are taking and just do this because it's got all these things that your body needs.
It also doesn't feel like, when you go to the cabinet and you open 6 bottles to get all your supplements and you put them back and you stack them. And then this, I just put a scoop. Yeah. The one thing I will say, I do have a complaint about AG1. I have one little complaint. The tin that it comes in, when you open it, it gets green stuff powder on the
That's how I knew you had it today. It was everywhere. I cleaned it because you're a boy, and it's a little bit like, there was a lot of
because the lid goes
AG1
on the outside of the can. What they need to do is do a screw-in lid because then it won't come out. I'm engineering their new
I love
new container.
The green thing.
I love
the
tin is cool. It's really cool. The tin is cool.
So you should try this if you're not trying it. Also, especially with all of the weird viruses and stuff we have going around, I do feel an extra layer of protection. So we got COVID one time. That was early on when we went back on the road. So December 21.
2 days I was down.
And I haven't gotten it since. And we travel. We're at shows.
And we're doing posters. We're doing meet and greets,
and I should not go wood. But that
stopped it.
This whole season, I get sick all the time. Every year, I get anything anyone has. He knows that. I didn't get any allergies. I got nothing this year. I traveled. I stayed in Portsmouth with my sister where it was 9 degrees and she wanted to sit on the balcony in the freezing ass cold. So I was out there bundled up. So we made it in 9 degrees for an hour and a half.
That's sister love. They had vodka. They had a lot of vodka. There was alcohol.
Yeah, that hobo
heat. But all the things that would have made me sick before, being around people after shows, I didn't get anything this whole cold season. So I'm not bragging. I just don't want to challenge.
And you've been deep in the unvaccinated world.
Yes.
We've got
at the end of last year, we were doing South. We did my old stomping ground. So, and I honestly think that's because I've been using AG1. So if there's one product that we have to recommend to elevate your health, it would be AG1. That's why we've been with them for so long. If you want to take ownership of your health, start with AG1. Try it and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2. That's the dropper. And 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/Titus. That's drinkag1.com.
Can't confirm it's awesome.
Titus.
I can awesome. Confirm. Guys, listen.
I have good news if you want to hear that.
Okay, I just want to say one last thing about this. It's not just the guy's a bad guy. It's not that he's a Republican. There's a bunch of Republicans that if they got elected, I would have been like, okay, the country's not going to come apart. This guy has said he was going to be a dictator. And on top of that, there's nothing about the man that has a modicum of class. Nothing. There's nothing. He's just a low-life scumbag who happens to have, his daddy gave him $400 million. And people, they want to vote for a low-life scumbag.
He has a mugshot.
Yeah, yes.
That he put never surrender under.
After he surrendered to authorities. What? I'm sorry. What happened?
You can buy a piece of that suit. It's a very large suit, even though he, at all his rallies now, is saying he's better looking naked than Biden, because that's what he talks about right now.
But why make me think about you naked, bro?
I called it, by the way, last week. Beyonce dropped a country music album, and it's really good.
It's good.
And I said this will be their new thing. They'll move on from Taylor because what they said was going to happen didn't happen, instead of addressing that. And now
they just
conservatives,
she calls us. They just move on.
Yeah.
They say the craziest shit possible and then move on.
I actually thought
they've moved on.
a great podcast would be going to Vivek Ramaswamy's social media or Marjorie Taylor Greene, finding these things and then
watching them move
pointing out how they just lie. They just pump out disinformation,
but also
create hysteria and move on. Cash their checks.
But do you know so it started out with Hunter Biden, and because Hunter Biden and Biden's involved, so Biden's taking money, he's corrupt, Burisma. Then it went to immigration. Immigration's going to end this country. The country's built on
temporarily. We heard the words migrant caravan again. Basically crime, cartel, MS-13. Okay, then that went away. Because they came up with a bill to fix it, and they said no. So now they moved on. Then it's gone to Biden's got dementia, and then we get 65 videos of Trump not fucking saying words. Yeah, and they go, okay, move on. Then they go to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and which is funny to me because like Taylor's, it's basically the most Republican shit you can do.
Yes.
The prom queen and the football player are together.
The white
and
blonde.
He's in the Super Bowl. Yes, the whitest people possible.
Country star.
And they're like, this is woke. What the fuck? And so now, and then this happened, and I saw this was so funny to me because the song was pretty good. Beyonce dropped you can tell her. She dropped a country song called Hold 'Em.
It was great. I thought she dropped a whole album. No.
I only saw one song.
Her new song has now debuted in the top spot of Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart on Tuesday. That's actually a historical marker.
Wow.
Yeah, that she did that. And she has a cowboy hat on and everything.
Shit.
Blonde hair. She get her hair blonde.
She looks beautiful. Yeah.
Can I say this too? People keep bitching about, man, I saw a video of someone going, they just keep taking whatever we have. They just want to take whatever we have. I'm sorry, Dobie Gray. We can go through all the black countries. Darius Rucker and his son. Yes. Darius Rucker and his son released a song called "What It's Like to Be a Man." This year.
I just shot
it's a
this
great
Sunday.
Country song.
I'm hearing this. I'm like, oh shit! I just shot this on Sunday. Wyatt actually shot this.
What is it?
It's working on a music video.
Oh my gosh.
I told him, I said, what the fuck you want though? Fold it like a dollar, I'm the fucking head honcho.
By the way, little Nas X. Gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till
Did they record that here in the studio upstairs?
I think they did, yeah. I think
so she released 2 songs and said the album is coming out on March 29th.
I like that Beyonce's like, watch this.
But that now they're all wound up about that. That's the new thing that they're going to talk about. I wonder if, because, Beyonce is part of the Illuminati. I don't know if you heard. Right. She and Jay-Z, and they publicly backed Biden. And so it's just all.
I will say this again.
Okay.
If the Illuminati helped get Joe Biden elected, and in that we actually got some people's student debt taken care of. We had the CHIPS Act. We have infrastructure. We got COVID stopped. We stopped having refrigerated trucks full of dead bodies. And if and the economy is growing at 5%, we've got the lowest unemployment in forever. We've got corporate profits at height. We're producing the most oil than any country in the world. If that's the Illuminati, I'm Team Illuminati because I'm doing fine and so are you. Wages are about 8% too. Team Illuminati, bitches, because these guys, Team Republican, they fuck it up every time.
We should just call Biden the Illuminati now. Because
we need to do Team Illuminati.
Did you see what he tweeted or X'd or whatever after the Super Bowl when the Chiefs won? It was a picture of him with red laser eyes, and he just put "just like I planned it." He's just totally trolling them. Yeah. I just read something where insiders are aides have told people, journalists, that he's directed them to ramp up the attacks on Trump's crazy things that he's saying. Okay. So it was actually,
he kind of has.
He said come out. We need to come out harder against the crazy shit this asshole is saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly how he said it.
I want to talk about this EMP thing that you were just talking about with so because the Earth isn't flat. Sorry, guys. Wouldn't there have to be? Let's say there's a 20 kiloton.
Mm-hmm.
It's only going to go so far.
Yeah, so another thing the other person was saying.
They're not going to shut down all the electronics.
Yeah, it's not an efficient.
It's like the
weapons.
whole
We have efficient weapons to do what it was planning to do already.
So they would have to blow up 20 kilotons, like 50 of them around the whole country
while the planet's moving.
Yeah, So this is kind of because I've been kind of afraid of this for a long time. People are getting Faraday things for their generators. I got a Faraday cage for my generator. Do you really? You have a generator? Okay. We really.
It's a Harbor Freight generator. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm just reading stuff Trump said in Iowa. It's like,
oh, come on, go. Let's give it to us. Because we this is kind of thematically.
Well, we're proudly creating jobs and killing terrorists.
Illuminati is creating jobs.
Congressional Democrats are consumed with partisan rage and deranged witch hunt hoax. Oh, he put all his favorite words together there.
But do you see?
We're probably having the best years that we've ever had in the history of our country. And I just got impeached. Can you believe these people? They impeached Trump.
Stop. Let's deal with this. Yes, we're having the best years our country's had in 50 years because you're not president, Fatso.
I know. I don't think he always knows what he says. Ready? Many people. I like that idea. I like it. Wouldn't we like to run against her? Who's tougher? Hillary. Her, Crazy Bernie, Biden, Boot Edge. That's his new thing for Buttigieg. Who would be the closest? Boot Edge? I don't know. Maybe we take another crack at Crazy Hillary. Would that be okay? She was so easy. Remember that speech?
She's not running
so innocently given, talking about deplorables. Remember deplorables? He's trying to remind them that they hate Hillary, who he's not running against.
She's not running.
Wait, but also
she's on vacation.
Maybe we'll take another crack at her.
But also, listen, there's some bands that when they go on a greatest hits tour, you want to hear the song,
and they don't know what city they're in.
Right said Fred goes on the road. I don't want to hear that.
Doesn't make
Trump
sense.
Ozzy Osbourne at this point?
He's not the Eagles. No, he's right said Fred. He's like, remember deplorables? Remember all the stuff that 4 years ago worked and now doesn't because you saw what a fuck up I actually am?
But also it no longer is relevant because she's not running. And that happened 6 years ago.
But what are you saying? Like,
no, almost 8 years ago.
But what's he saying? Like,
lock her up.
You know who we'd like to run against? Because I'm still president. We get to pick who we get to run against. like is he saying he gets to pick?
Look, I could make this speech really short. All I have to do is say, hello, Iowa. You have no choice but to vote for me. Otherwise, everything you have loved in your entire life will be gone. Goodbye, Iowa. Have a good time. No, instead, I work my ass off up here, okay? True, you think this is easy? It's a little hot in this room. This room wasn't designed for this many people.
I love that you read these straight.
Is this a political open mic? Man, I don't need to take the shit. I'm a headliner, bitches. It's like a comic having a bad set.
The Green New Deal, which would crush our farms, destroy our wonderful cows. They want to kill our cows. You know why, right? You know why? Don't say it. Don't say it. They want to kill our cows. That means you're next.
I'm going to put a children's book in front of you. Like you're reading a children's book.
Wait, they want to kill our cows.
You know why? Segment to read his rallies in a straight voice like that. Story hour.
Story time.
I think we're doing it. We are going to do it. I'll build a corner and we're going to put a little thing. And
they want to kill our cows.
And you're going to read to him and I.
But that means you're next.
After they kill the cows, you know who? You. That's who. After cows are dead, as he's eating a hamburger, after cows are dead, then it's you.
This room wasn't designed for this many people. What? Okay, in good news, before we go, I just want to say that finally, after a 12-year battle, Wisconsin governor, who is a Democrat, has now had the opportunity to sign new state legislative maps into law, which ends a lifetime GOP gerrymander.
Yay.
It was insanely disproportionate for what is clearly more of a blue state. And so they just finally were able to flip the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Then Republicans said, when she said she would hear this case, they said they were going to get rid of her. off the Supreme Court.
couldn't.
It didn't work. And so because now it's a majority Democratic Supreme Court, they finally could change it.
Didn't this go to the federal Supreme Court also that they had didn't they get ruled?
I know Alabama
Because
did.
Alabama got told by the Supreme Court, you guys can't have districts that
Yeah,
just
what
says
happened with
districts
that?
that are called white people and then no
Others.
black people. Yeah. It was called the no black people district. And they said you have to redo it. And Alabama said, fuck you, we're not doing it. So didn't they redo it on their own?
I know that they refused to comply. Remember, they
States'
didn't
rights.
do what SCOTUS ruled. Then they got a warning. I'm just wondering what's happening.
Yeah, what do you do to Alabama? Like what is does Clarence Thomas get in his motorhome and drive down with the guy? All right, guys, we told you what to do. Come on.
Alabama defied the court's order in an attempt to continue disempowering black residents. The state is 27% black. They had one little tiny district that was in a majority black population. That was in 2021. They drew one with just that one tiny.
And nothing's happened.
I don't see anything. I know Supreme Court ruled against them. They disobeyed. Alabama went back, appealed to the Supreme Court again, a legal Hail Mary, even though nothing had changed since the ruling or any new evidence. Justice Kavanaugh noted that race-conscious remedial redistricting may not be allowed to continue indefinitely. Which could help other states, obviously. Supreme Court then rejected Alabama's second attempt. Then the district court chose a map. So the three-judge panel in Alabama, the district court, was tasked with choosing which of the proposed remedial maps Alabama will use in March 2024. The special master that had been appointed submitted 3 proposed maps to the panel in September. A hearing took place on my birthday, and
When are we going to have this? Rachel's birthday.
they approved the third choice. And the Alabama Secretary of State tweeted that his office will facilitate the 2024 election cycle based on the map the federal court, quote, forced upon Alabama. But that this is a quote, Alabamians to know that the legal portion of this process has not yet been completed. So fine, I'll do it. But we all know we're not done.
Do you know what's weird about this?
A trial in front of the same 3 judges will occur in 2025.
Do you know what's weird about so the Supreme Court is for many years, for as long as I can remember, has really been held to a high standard. You know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, there was people on it that had, even say what you will about not liking Scalia. Scalia, I think, was the first one of these scumbags where you're like, you are just doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're not doing the right thing. You're doing what you want to do.
Corrupt. One of the first ones.
And you know, if you go back
Well,
in
maybe not
history,
the first one.
I don't know the history well enough, but if you go back in history, Rachel Maddow will bring up, there's like, she brought up a couple times where there's Supreme Court justices from like the 40s and 50s that were just raging scumbags.
Yeah.
So it's not new, but what we haven't seen, I guess we have during the education things during the civil rights. Remember, they had to send the Supreme Court rule that you have to let black students into your school. They said no. Parents lined the street, and they had to have National Guard go in and take them in. Right.
Out.
Well, so I don't understand. Is there states' rights or there isn't states' rights?
We can't decide. It depends on what serves us at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Rachel's on the Supreme Court. Rachel, she'd be the best Supreme Court justice ever.
Thank you.
Louboutins, taller than everybody, just towering over Clarence Thomas.
By the way, if you want to see
Patting on the head.
good comedy, Cap City Comedy, Austin, Texas, February 29th through March 2nd. And I
Guys.
just want to give you guys just a quick bang, bang, bang of, John Witherspoon. Bang, bang. Oh,
Bang.
God rest his soul. Coming up in March. March is going to be very busy. Hartford, Albany, Syracuse. You guys know we do that run every year. It's each night. Bam, bam, bam. Richmond, Virginia Beach. Then we're going to go back to the State Theater on March 13th in Falls Church, Virginia. My sister will be at that show.
When did we do that last?
Then also, before COVID, also Cobb, San Francisco, March 22nd and 23rd.
Home
that
club,
is his
guys.
home club.
Well,
it
home
was.
area, yeah.
That is where he started. Was
Started
that
in
your
San
first
Francisco.
night?
No, Punchline. Punchline's a very tiny club. Cobb's is really a nice club. Then I went to the other cafe, which is now closed. But San Francisco is where I started comedy.
This is where you started.
Yeah,
and you would, as a young tot, go do open mic sets
Open mics at
Cobb's?
19 and 20 years old, yeah.
Is that one of the places you had to stand in the back to be let in, or could you
No,
get
that
in?
was more like in the yes, but yes, the other cafe I had to stand in the back. They served alcohol. And
Outside
they were
in the back.
Sometimes I'd have to
he
stand
wasn't old
outside.
enough.
They go call my name and I have to come in through the door, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
even scarier because as an open micer, then you're not watching the show. You don't know what's
you know,
happened.
the feeling is
I'd crack
inside.
the door. But
okay.
also at that age, you don't know how to feel a room. Like I can walk in a room now and go, uh-oh. Or I go, oh,
Right,
this is
immediately.
great. Yeah.
Also, Portland, Oregon, Helium, we love that. And then we did just book in anticipation of you filming this show, Carrying Monsters, at the El Portal here. You guys can get tickets to that. That's April 13th.
Guys, if you want to come see the taping of Carrying Monsters, go to the El Portal Theater. We're going to do it on April 13th. Go to ChristopherTitus.com to get those tickets.
But we booked the Improv in Irvine. We love that club. We love the guy that runs it. April 11th. So 2 nights before, if you're in Irvine area, you can come there and check out the show. And then you still have to drive up here for the 13th.
We're going to set up some pieces up that night just so I can just get
and then we just added Ontario Improv the week after.
And can I say something? So Netflix is doing a giant comedy festival here in Los Angeles.
Netflix is a joke.
Netflix is a joke festival. I was giving one of the spots for one of the opening night shows. It'll be at, what's the name of the place?
Kookaburra Lounge.
Kookaburra Lounge, yes. It is my 10th special in 20 years. I'm kind of proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
She'll remember there was a day something happened with, Big Shots. It was Big Shots. Big Shots at 07. Big Shots happened and it got canceled because of the writer's strike. And I looked at her and I go, the only thing I can control is my stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I said, how many specials did Carlin do? 16. I said, all right, before I die, I'm going to do 16 comedy specials. And we are now at 10. This is 10th. So come see it, guys. And by the way, March, you're going to see this show is so tight now. We just did it. We just killed at a casino. Casinos are horrible. And we did Seneca. It was so good, man. And your show is so good.
I took him to see the falls for the first time.
I went to
He saw
Niagara Falls.
Niagara
You haven't seen 'em?
Falls. No,
Huh.
he's never been there.
Have you been there?
No.
Dude, it's so much water movement.
Surprised.
It's crazy.
I took him to the Canadian side. We took our passports and hopped over
Dude,
because
there
it's
is
way
so
better.
much water. I was like, being in water skiing, I know what this is a lot of water.
And you've played
Holy
that area
shit.
before, right? This is okay.
No,
I
not
thought
at
you
Niagara
have.
Falls. And it was really cool. And then they said, it's only running at like 52% capacity right now. And I was like,
Yeah, they turn it down. They do.
This is just a
I just have a guy with
gigantic
They
wheel.
do. During the winter, they turn the flow down considerably. But during the summer, you actually have mist days in Niagara. It's like where you get wet trying to see the falls.
We were actually reading. So we did this radio when we're driving somewhere. She'll grab her phone and we'll start reading facts about whatever we're doing while I'm driving.
Yeah.
So she starts reading about the falls. And there's a bunch of people who went over it, like X Games type people like Jackass tried to survive in barrels. One guy went over in a boat, died. They never found his body. One guy went over in a kayak. Found the
One
kayak.
guy jumped, survived, and then in 2017 decided to do it for real and died.
We wonder why
There's
people
also-
follow Trump.
There's also here's the funny part. There's also a couple people that have tried to commit suicide because by the way, people that tried to survive died. So when I'm going, survive. And I just thought,
that
how
happened a
fucked
lot.
up is that
Interesting.
day? Like I tried to kill myself, and next thing you know, you're swimming out onto a rock. What the fuck?
The first lady that went over it in a barrel, it was a female school teacher. She tested the barrel the day before with her house cat.
She's in her house, cat in a barrel. Cat survived. She's like, well, I got this. Because the cat can't
She
go
sent the cat in the barrel down Niagara
first
Falls.
to test it.
Oh, I see.
To test
So
it.
then the next day she did it, and they said when she got out of the barrel, she said, nobody should ever do this again.
And why didn't my cat tell me?
Yeah, right.
Why did my cat tell
Gave
me
me
not
no
to-
data.
My cat should have been like, nope, don't.
Yeah.
And now, guys, it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts.
Yeah.
My phone shut off. Let's do some presidential ones because we were talking about presidents, and it was President's Day yesterday. Gerald Ford was.
It's good that on President's Day we talked about who had the biggest presidential penis.
Yeah, see, we're the high bar.
I like that we kept it thematic.
Yeah.
Gerald Ford was a male model Did you know that? President
No.
Ford.
I knew he was a football player.
Yeah.
He was a male.
Yeah, look at him.
Wait,
It's either that or he's a Nazi. Look at that Nazi youth.
that was wow. He
Look at
was
him.
doing. Yeah, he was definitely doing.
He was like a
posters
magazine
for-
model.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's crazy.
I'll put it up on the thing.
He looks
You're
like,
like,
he looks like a Southern Baptist.
He does the preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with those preachers in my family, and it's that kind of slick
I
look.
made it bigger. You can just go down.
That was fun. Thank
I
you.
had more. I had a few
Oh.
more. Do you want some more?
Oh, I
John
didn't realize.
Adams. Speaking of penises,
Also a male model.
John Adams.
John
he
Adams
was
got-
played by.
He got lost on his way to the White House when he
Did he?
became president
Yeah,
that
but
night.
that was because it was like 3 days old.
And he liked to skinny
at that
dip
point.
in the
Yeah,
Potomac.
They were just building.
Why are you stealing all the things?
Was that it?
Skinny dipping every day. Every day, that's an extra
He
detail.
was cold plunging. He knew it was healthy.
Yeah, it was like
He
it was
was
Joe
My
Biden.
poli-sci teacher in college would teach us like interesting fun facts about the presidents. And that's something I've always remembered, that he got lost on his way to the White House, which doesn't instill a lot of faith in
No.
him
No
in
roads,
running the
no.
country.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and you
but
could
back then-
see it. There was no buildings. It's there.
Yeah, but it's behind
Look,
like
wait.
one tree. And
Thomas Jefferson brought tomatoes. That's what I remember from college. It's like, it serves me not until this very moment.
all right, here's one more. President Harrison, who the fuck is that? Was afraid of touching light switches. All right, but the
Why?
electricity was brand new at the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
thought
yeah.
it would
It
zap
kind of
you.
Yeah,
makes
by the
sense.
way, they electrocuted a bunch of people first. It wasn't like it was,
Good idea.
They
At
didn't have
that time.
GFI at that
Yeah,
point.
right.
Yeah, I'm not
There's no
touching
surge
that.
protectors
Why,
in there.
do
There's
you
no-
know how many people have been killed
I didn't
today?
think about that. They probably did get shocked. A
Yeah,
lot
all the
back then.
time.
Okay.
So the White House staff used to turn on and off all the lights for him because he and his wife wouldn't touch the lights because they were afraid.
Wow. Witchcraft.
Totally.
Guys, thanks for listening to the Titus Podcast and watching. Go to my YouTube channel, Christopher Titus TV, to get all our content. By the way, we have there's 9 comedy specials there that you are welcome to watch. Please go view them. See our subscribe to it too. Get the Armageddon update. And if you want to go to see us film the 10th special, I'm kind of proud of this. It's 900 minutes of comedy.
Yeah,
I've
come
written.
hang out with us.
Come hang out with us, guys. Second show, we're going to be doing an after party, and thanks. Do you want to talk about anything?
Go
over
to.
we're in the middle of rebuilding our website,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's underway.
and I'm starting to write the new show.
Yeah. I'm excited for the look of the new special, Carry Monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a.
Yeah.
Chip Foose is
That's
doing the
Kristen
sets, helped us
Yeah,
with the sets.
that's super cool.
And what we're going to do on this special is, I'm excited about it. It's the 10th one, but the new website's going to be awesome. You know, Highlander, so good. Go look at my Instagram. We just Highlander did a killer graphic for this,
the new poster.
for this new
That's cool.
poster. And the lovely Rachel Bradley, come see her live. You will not
Oh, you know
believe
what,
this
you
show.
guys, I feel like we're really dragging this out, but I do want to say, go listen to the latest episode of Knock 'em Dead.
Yes.
It's on Knock 'em Dead podcast on YouTube, or that's where you would watch it, or listen to it on any platforms. My brother was the guest last time. I'm excited about
First
our guest
responders, yep.
coming up. Mr. Billy Gardell is going to be the next guest. But we did one about first responders, and it was really, really interesting. I was kind of blown away by it.
You don't realize what they go through, and on top of that, they also have to deal with grieving
Yes.
people while it's going
Yes.
down. So it was really interesting, guys. Listen, we're all going to have to deal with death. This will help you get through death. I mean, it's not going to help you get through death. We are not magic. We can't, or sorcerers. We
We're
can't.
kind
We
of
can't
magical.
save you. But to get through someone else going, I love doing the podcast. It's interesting. Interesting. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Let me do that again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There can be anyone.